Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today I am out here getting ready to put down landscaping fabric here inside of our garden. And yes, I want to take you guys along with me while I get ready to do that and just talk a little bit about how I acquired these landscaping fabric, and also what I'm getting ready to do right now is, now they do sell these here on out at the store. I have not seen any long ones in the store, and simply because my mounds are so high and I want to be able to get these stakes down inside of the ground. So here today I am making my own, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that as well. Now pretty much what you need a pair of pliers. This wire right here is a 9-gauge wire that I use for my fencing. Lately I have gotten something a little bit thicker, and so I'm going to use this right here for our landscaping fabric.
Okay.
All right, so simply we're just going to go ahead, put your pliers there, bend it like that, and you're going to come back on around and bend it again. And what you're going to do is cut it with your pliers, and you just simply straighten that on out. And so voila, right there we have some stake to use in the garden. Okay. So guys, just go ahead and stay tuned. Let me go ahead and make a few more of these right here, and we're going to get ready to lay our landscaping fabric. Okay guys, and so here we are. Now of course, you know, the fabric that you see me rolling out here doesn't look quite as new as if when you would pull some out of the box. Now, as you all know, that we like to repurpose a lot of things here on the homestead. All right, and so just give you all a backdrop of how we come about this fabric right here. As you all know, there's a lot of construction is going on all over the place at this time, and so this right here is what they would use on the property line as a barrier when they are building, to keep debris and different stuff from blowing all over into the other spot. But nonetheless, guys, it also used for debris and stuff like that too. But nonetheless, I was riding one day, and you know, I see construction going, and I was looking, and just so happened I look, and guess what? They had this sitting in the dumpster. Yes, your boy Humble do a little bit of dumpster diving. Yes, so I went on out there and I went ahead and I pulled this out of the dumpster. Now I do have a lot of rows and a lot of different stuff to put landscaping fabric on, and you know, to fill all this, guess what? Hey, you do get a little bit costly, you know, and
if you had to pay for fabric to put on all of these rows in these gardens, yes.
It do get a little bit costly. Now one of the things that I like with this fabric right here is the perfect width that I need to wrap it over the rows, so I don't have to cut it. And I'm not going to put any fabric in the walkways. I don't really care, you know, much about that. I'll come on in and weed that, or weed eater or something, my hula hole, and get it cleaned out. But guys, what I want to do here today is show you guys how to go about putting down landscaping fabric. And yes, there are a few little bit of holes and stuff like that inside of there. For me, not a problem, okay? We're just here to grow stuff. You know, of course, you know, you do want your garden to look decent, but it's not about a decent party for a garden here. For me, it's about growing food to eat.
Absolutely.
All right? So as y'all see, we just got through making our steaks. Now come on down, and I'm going to show you how we go about wrapping these rows and getting them ready. All right?
Okay.
So right here, just pretty much coming down to the end, make sure it is nice and lined up down here at the end of the row. And so I'm pretty much going to go ahead and put a stake in. Just want to push your stake in, and that's what's going to hold your fabric from moving all over the place.
Okay.
And just putting another one over here on the other side. Okay. And so as I go down the row, what I'm going to do, and I'm just keeping my stake close by so that if I need to grab one, it's easily reachable. All right. And so I'm going to do the same thing. And what I like to do, it all depends on if whenever you pull it and you see that it's lifting, you will come back in and put another stake in to make sure you get it down nice and smooth on the dirt. All right. And so that's right there. And with these on the sides here, I don't go down because the dirt is a bit soft. So what I do, I pull that fabric real nice and tight, and I go in to the side of my rows.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay, so that way when I get over here on the other side and I pull, guess what? It's not pulling up out of the dirt because it's going into the side of the row. All right. And as you are putting in your stake, you want to make sure that you are pulling that fabric nice and tight. You don't want your fabric to be loose on your roll. All right. And when I say pull it nice and tight, pretty much pulling it just like that. And for me, what I'm doing here is every 2.5 inches, 2 feet, 6 inches to 3 inches. It all depends on how it's looking.
You said 2.5 to 3 feet?
No. Yes. 2 feet, 6 inches. Yes.
2.5.
2.5.
Okay.
Yes. And so, and if I pull it and I see that there's a little bit of sag, or it's not laying down how I want it, I'll put an extra stake in.
Gotcha.
All right.
So every 2.5 to 3 feet or so, you put in a stake. And if you see that it's not as tight as you want it in that particular area, you'll come in
with a stake
in the middle of that
right.
2.5 or 3 feet.
Right, to make sure that it is nice and smooth.
Okay. This is going to be a game changer as far as weed barriers this year. This year is all about utilizing efficiency, ways that we can cut down on some tasks so that we could have more time to do others.
That's right.
So the garden has definitely expanded tremendously this year. And so one of the things that we want to make sure is that we're not spending our time having to pull weeds, you know, and hand water when that time can be spent harvesting more produce and processing more produce. So this is definitely gonna help us to be able to utilize our time more efficiently in other places by not having to come and weed as much.
And so here's one spot that we ran into. Like I said, they do have a few holes in them. Not worrying about that at all. Just cut a hole right here and plant.
Hopefully it lines up with the, the hole that you need. If not, we'll be all right.
We'll work on it, but either way, if a few little weeds pop up in here, that's easy to handle.
Absolutely.
So,
and I was gonna say, well, given what you're planting right here, by the time the canopy grows,
Yes.
anyway, it may not even
Be that kind of weed or anything.
absolutely not.
And I'm glad you say that, because certain things that you do grow, guys, once they get big and there's no more sun hitting those weeds, they slow down. They slow down. And so it's just like with the Scotch bonnet peppers. You know, when you first plant them, yes, you have to come in and do a little bit of weeding, but once that canopy get established, you don't have to come in and do as much weeding like you would first time.
Yeah, perfect size to cover the mound
Oh yeah.
or to cover the row.
Well, you know, when you're making your rows, you kind of keep in mind, you know, the size of your fabric, so that way everything adds up.
Okay.
But in this case, it just so happened that when I was making these rows, that was just being made at the right size.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so I just went ahead and grabbed me another piece of fabric. I'm going to show you all how we go about connecting them together. And so pretty much you're just going to overlay the top fabric on the bottom fabric. All right, and you're just going to make sure they're lined up on both sides. You're going to pull, right? Just make sure you're getting them real nice and even. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to go in because we're going through two fabrics, right? And let's put that in just like that.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing over here on the other side. Right? And so that's it. Connecting your fabric together. Just going to go back and start laying. This big shift.
And guys, while he's doing that, I want to talk to you about something that you may, obviously see in the video. We've tilled and made rows, but you see this collard plant here, and there's one behind him as well. Well, they've flowered and been pollinated, and seed have started to form on them. And so, we were hoping to have, seed saved from them before we had to come in and till the garden and start everything over. But one of the things we're focused on is not only growing food, but saving seed from the crop that we grow that we could utilize year after year. And so we did not purchase collard green seeds. Our goal is to harvest seeds from the plants that we previously planted, and this plant is a year and a half, almost, a year and a half.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, year and a half, or a little bit older than that. And so our goal is to save seeds so that we'll have our own collard seeds to plant year after year. So
Just working around this plant, guys. She said, "Don't you hurt my collard plant." All right, baby. I won't hurt
they've been through some stuff, man, I'm telling you.
you. Yeah.
I thought they weren't going to survive that last frost we got this winter. I'm like, these plants are how old? And this one little frost is going to come along and just knock everything down. But, hey. All in a day's work, right?
All in a day's work.
Or all in the season's growing.
All right, guys. And that right there is going to do it. It's going to do it right there for laying our landscaping fabric.
Our free landscaping.
Yes, our free landscaping fabric. And of course, y'all see, I do have, I would say a few more rows, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 more rows that we have to cover up. And we're going to go ahead and work on that sometime today. But what I want to go ahead and do later on is come on in, start making my holes so I can get those scotchy babies in the ground. So guys, I hope and I pray that you guys learned something from laying landscaping fabric. It's not too much to it. If, like I always say, if I can do it, you can do it as
And
well.
look for ways to cut costs, guys. Not everything has to be top of the line out of your pocket. There are so many things around, if we paid attention, that could help us to cut costs. You know, gardening doesn't have to be the most expensive thing ever.
Right.
Look at ways of utilizing secondhand items and cutting costs wherever you can to save, you know, $1 here or there, because it all adds up.
And that's it. And that's definitely what we're doing here on the homestead, is to cut costs. Because guess what? A lot of what you see going on here on this homestead, it's come out of pocket.
It's out of pocket.
It comes out of pocket.
There isn't a government grant or you know, nothing like that. No, nothing coming this way, you know, in that nature. So everything that we do and buy and purchase, you know, it's purchased in small quantities when the funds are available. So we look for ways to cut costs however we can.
And so that is one of the ways to do it.
Absolutely.
Is to cut costs here. I know eventually we probably have to go out and buy some landscaping fabric, but for now, we're going to use what we have.
Absolutely.
And that's also one of the things of homesteading. Nothing goes to waste. Remember that. It's a lot of different little piles around here where that is stuff that I may use, or I may cut a piece of lumber and I just put the other piece of lumber there, because at some point in time you come back to it. But nonetheless, just want to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you guys out there, and thanks for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. Now, you like the content you guys got here today, go ahead, throw that big thumbs up, like, subscribe, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell when you subscribe. And a thing, share this video. Share the video. All right, it helps not just us, but a lot of people that are out there that's getting into gardening, are new gardeners, and they're looking for tips and ways of how to do things in their garden. If you think this helps you, send it to someone else. It may help them as well. All right, so I want to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you guys out there, and thanks for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. Have a blessed day.